73 Easting. U.S. Army assaults Iraq defense. After suppressing enemy troops in a small village, Eagle Troop, 2nd Cavalry Squadron, 2nd Armored Cavalry Regiment, was given permission to advance to the 70 Easting Line. Reports of enemy tanks to the front made the American Captain McMaster decide to order the troops forward to assault the best the Iraqis had to offer, the Tawakalna Division of the Republican Guard. This is gonna be ugly. Yeah, I'm playing with the Americans. I don't think the Iraqis have any kind of a hope here. There's no turn limit. Yeah, we have a metric ton of units though. And it's mostly armor. Why don't we have turn limits? Visibility is 20. It's probably a little bit more with our vehicles. Vehicle-based mortars for the most part. Mobile launchers. 227mm rockets. There's only 12 of them. This is the type of stuff you don't fire blindly. Okay, we have to be a little bit careful with who we start shooting with, because in all probability there's going to be return fire. We have some infantry, but it's definitely minor infantry. Okay. All the Bradleys. Oh, Lee. Autocannon 25mm. Machine gun and 12 anti-tank missiles. Armor is respectable. Yeah, these are M1A1s. I think that we have better ones too. Armor on the front 60. It has no anti-infantry ammunition for the main gun. Range 120. Has 40 anti-tank shells. 3 machine guns, so it will slaughter infantry, but in a different way. Vision 40, fire control 40. It's basically it'll see 20 hexes beyond what lesser tanks see, and it's incredibly accurate no matter what. I think we had other types of tanks too. What are G30? Yeah, these are Bradley tanks. They're just named after some kind of a M3A2s. They're all Bradleys. Yeah, this is basically a troop carrier, but it has a decent armor and decent weaponry. It's basically does everything a tank does in most missions and more. Okay, we only have maybe a bulldozer or two, so we don't want to lose these. If there are mines, these might be able to get through it without trouble. I don't really care about the mortars, so I'll use them to start with. Passenger artillery observer, that's not good. Any kind of a spotting unit would be very valuable here. I don't think there's going to be any kind of reaction. They'll react to other vehicles. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be much of a fight here. It's we're basically just deciding who are we going to sacrifice. A heavier tank might be preferable because it has a reasonable chance of surviving the hit. Oh, this is a machine gun jeep. We could also not really make much of a move initially. Ghost medic. Maintenance. Yeah, if we move like this, it's going to be incredibly time consuming and tedious to go through all my units. We'll hold some units back, so we are good at reacting. As a platoon leader, though, probably shouldn't be sacrificing this. Rifle squads. What the fuck? We're too heavy to get inside. Carry capacity 4. Right. Why can't you kill the infantry? This isn't good. I guess we're gonna spread about a little bit. Drop infantry and see what we can find. I think this is going to be one of those missions where there's no point really holding back. You're just more or less delaying the inevitable by doing that. And if we get out of these vehicles, we can't get back in. Need to remember that. Suppose it could be a fight where there is no turn limits. It's basically going to be decided through fighting. Although I've never seen such a mission before, so what else? Artillery observer. Isn't actually all that great at doing this. Artillery observing, I mean. Okay. Why can't I see the goddamn section here? I suppose I could find fire some blind fire in there. The ability isn't all that great, so it'd be nice if we could actually spot those buildings with someone. I'm gonna accept the delay too here. Main reason being that we're going to have to take a lot of time to move our troops really to some kind of decent positions. This is also one of the reasons I'm very hesitant to, I probably have mentioned this before, than playing the custom campaign. Because I more or less expect this. Massive amount of troops on both sides. It's not a... Even in the best of circumstances, it takes forever to play through these missions. Fundamentally, we don't want to do anything too complex. We want to just go forward and fight the opponents that pop up. And even then, it's I'm doing this in the wrong direction. Even then, it takes forever to get anything done. I don't think mobility is going to be a huge detriment to our accuracy. That's the main benefit of the fire control. Besides being able to fire at long ranges. So the effect should be fairly drastic. Visibility of 20 is my only problem, really. And I don't think it's a problem for me. But these guys have probably vision 30 at least. 40. So, yeah, they can see double what a non-vehicle unit will see. And there's no guarantee that the enemy tanks have similar levels of visibility. Probably not, in fact. Where was it? So, if we stay here with the tanks, we're definitely within range of the opponents. What we need to more or less decide is, are we gonna just rush down there with everything we've got, or do we want to try something else? I'm somewhat inclined to just let the infantry sort of do the job here for us. Because we have no indication that we are in any particular hurry here. And we need to spot, it's all about just spotting the enemy. If we can do that, we'll be set. So by rushing there with the tanks, all we're doing is making them vulnerable. Infantry is cheap to lose, tanks are not. Probably spread around a little bit. I have no idea what type of artillery the enemy has, but it'll have something. Don't particularly want to rush to our deaths with the mortars either, especially now that we're sending infantry forward. Not sure if we have anything to send forward here. We could send infantry again to move in front of the tanks. The problem is I have no idea if we're going to stumble into enemies anytime soon. So it's probably better to save the infantry until we at least get some kind of contact with the enemy, and we can expect more to be found nearby. These missile platforms, oh, these are anti-air machine guns, right? But they have vision of 0, so they cannot really take part in the fighting anyway. I wonder how this mission will go. I mean, do they have a respectable resistance, or is it just us moving in a wave right on top of it? No one covering for the infantry. It's a pretty big problem because our infantry squads are so small that it's impossible to recover after being fired once. Yeah, they're more or less retreating. We're gonna run out of infantry very quickly if we can't protect our own a little bit better. The artillery will more or less land in a satisfactory way. Don't really have good targets to fire at anyway. More of a question, how the hell are we going to make progress? Someone's going to have to go there and die. We don't have good units to do that. We can't just send the infantry there always. We just don't have enough. Hmm. Hmm. Best thing about the U-2 machine guns isn't that they're all that effective, it's that there's the real, so they'll suppress very nicely even if they don't do really all that much damage. So what are we going to do? Just I think we're better off just pretty much blindly rushing in there. Because our reaction against these type of opponents is really good. The alternative would be to just sit back and send something else there. I don't think that's really an option for us. So not everything has to go there, but we do have to send something. Also thinking we are probably outside these guys' weapon range. We are firing at 26 hexes. So I don't think they can really see us. I suppose the main problem here being that we do have to go very, very close to it if we want to get anything done. I think we should split into two waves. Maybe not to have a huge difference in quality in the waves, but we want to have basically one team that can fire at a standstill position against every target the other group encounters while it moves forward. Urban bunker. Okay, is this entire field made of earthen bunkers? Yes. Right, I'm trying to get to that unit, but I don't think that really matters anymore. What is that? It's a 3D troop carrier. Still, someone else should take the shot against it. Right, imagine having to defend against this type of a wave. You have your two options, either wait until they spot you and kill you, or take your hot shot and die immediately. Don't really have all that many options in the middle there. Make this guy routed. Thank you. With any luck, there are no other fully functioning units in that area. Not we're quite that lucky, but another bunker. Definitely like to drop troops here. Yeah. The artillery will be landing fairly close, I know, but I don't think it'll be that big of a deal, really. Well, that is a bit uncomfortably close, I have to admit. Maybe if we shift this around a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty much impossible for it to hit our units now. I think we were at R1. Platoon leader, don't go and die. this is a bit risky, but I don't really see an option, so I'm just gonna have to go in there and try to get something done. Another bunker. I really wish you wouldn't do all this reaction fire, people. Well, what's done is done. This tank here is not going to be alone, so maybe not the greatest idea possible to rush in here with everything we've got. Still, either they react or I'm gonna start spotting them soon anyway. I want these little stragglers out of the way. We just need to go past the curtain of smoke here. We don't really have to do anything else. And you. Trucks. Wasn't expecting trucks. Right. I'm trying to imagine myself playing this on the other side and seeing how would you do it? And I don't see it. The main problem is the casualties just become too easy for the other side. So even if you could somehow sort of wait into the position where you more or less have at least a chance to get things done, you would still, after a couple of shots, even just reactionary shots from the enemy, your resistance would basically be impossible. Because you start with fewer shots and less accuracy. So I just don't see it. How in the hell could it possibly work in your favor? Still, it is what it is. My problem mainly stems from the fact that how is this really supposed to be an interesting mission for you to play? Because with either side, you're sort of the conclusion is a foregone thing. So what exactly are you playing at anymore? I can't imagine the amount of Russian tanks they have to have somewhere stocked up for to be able to basically counter us. Right, we do want to pressure them away from these locations. The artillery isn't... Ooh, no reaction fire. Yeah, that's the main problem. No fighting in actually involved. But we forced them out of their positions, the artillery will fall more or less there. Ah. Mm, and we're already moving somewhat with these, so no need to rush it. Well, there's a couple of tanks here spread all over, and I think there has to be a carpet of those tanks somewhere, just to counter our general numbers. So we are probably within firing range of them already. Just don't know it yet. Yeah, I'm holding back with some of these. We're getting into a huge mass there. The numbers won't really add anything beneficial for us any there. I'm gonna try to use some of the cheaper units to basically force their tanks to react to something. It can't happen on this turn. Artillery Observer. I would argue at observing things though. Just wondering if it could spot some of the tanks before the other units could. Now, there are no real worthwhile targets for us to fire upon. No action from anything. It's exhausting to move so many tanks without basically getting any action. This is the game at its worst, I fear. I suppose to the game's credit, this isn't the standard thing you'll have to deal with. This is the exception. Doesn't change the fact that it's exhausting. Ooh, we're spotting new things in new places. Spotting mortars, okay. Fleeing infantry. As well, well, we don't have to cancel the artillery necessarily, but we simply have to shift it. Yeah, I think I'll just shift it a little bit. Right, there's something north in the north. More mortars. Mortars are usually when behind all the effective enemy lines. So, are we? Is this it? We have a well, figurative wall of armor, and I've seen a couple of pathetic units here and there so far. This can't be it. Be a huge disappointment if it was, though. Okay, who do we want to move first? The mortar is certainly not it. Five turrets. The artillery is landing here, so I don't know how close to these guys I want to go. We can put some more effort into making some gains on the next turn. We'll definitely end the artillery bombardment no matter what. Or at least shift it somewhere else. Not a good unit to shoot though. Or shoot with rather. It's within their vision range. This probably isn't. Right. Where's the unit that I was moving? Bradley of some sort. God damn it. I have no idea. That was uncomfortably close. Dead. No, didn't die. But we're not going to be able to do much. Still, we got the enemy to reveal themselves and didn't die, so that's more or less what we get, best we can hope for. There's way too many units though, and I don't mean this in the sense that it takes time to control these. It's just cycling through these is a pain in the ass. They don't seem to follow the typical alphabetical order, so they don't actually move in the correct order either. If I just go with the next and previous unit command, I'm jumping all over the place. Right. LMIAOP QRSOU UBO. Yeah, these fuckers are just all over the place. It's just C. What the? Yeah, I think I've skipped certain units because of that. God damn it. Just have to go through these guys one at a time. Otherwise, this won't work. If I lose my place even once, then that's pretty much it. At the same time, it's a problem because I have to skip the tanks. Because the tanks need to be able to react, so I can't exactly move them first. There's no easy way for me to just move certain types of units like I usually am able to. Again, it takes away from the tactical combat nature of the typical game. There might be a way to command it, but this game doesn't allow it. You need to redesign the user interface and maybe how you handle the unit sizes. The current system is not able to do it though. I think we have to be somewhat careful how we approach these flags. There's without a doubt defenders there. It could be about as good of a spot that there might be for him to try to force a close range tank encounter with us. So I'm not sure if I should just there's a enemy there. Didn't notice that. And now I have no idea again what exactly was I doing. Maybe this? As far as I can see, I'm not really spotting anything new. More or less, we're spotting the infantry already retreating. This is probably my least favorite mission so far. That's awful. If I played it on the Iraqi side, at least it would have been quick. The enemy has no trouble moving vast amounts of troops quickly. I really wish the how many units you see, enemy scene, would basically do something different when you spot an actual new unit. So you would immediately be able to tell if you're just spotting the same crap someone else is already spotting, or did something new pop up. There has to be some kind of a heavy reaction from the Iraqi side on this turn, because we're reaching the point where there is no... They won't be able to react to anything anymore if they don't do it now. There's no time left for them. We're getting so close to the flag areas that we can basically... No matter what pops up there, we can just immediately fire upon it. And I think we're within their ideal firing range too, more or less. So I'm not sure what they're still waiting for exactly. I mean, they are going to die horribly once they do it, but that still shouldn't stop them from doing it, because it's not like they all have a huge amount of options there. That's gonna be pretty much the end result of every time something pops up. Doesn't really matter what they do, and the result is always the same. Enemy spotted would also be nice if they would split between infantry and or a different type of enemies. Anything that would provide a little bit of extra information about what you're seeing. I mean, you wouldn't exactly get something information you don't already have. You could just get it in a way that would help you see exactly what's going on in the battlefield without going to have to manually check every little red spot you're seeing. I think we've moved these. So yeah, this is a nightmare mission. It really has no difficulty as far as we're concerned. Just incredible amount of tedium trying to move the troops. Infantry there. Well, to their credit, the infantry achieved their job. I was more or less wanting to use them to either spot the hidden tanks or enemy positions, and that's what they achieved. So it's an absolute catastrophe for them. They they did what you sort of would have expected that you need to do. Get them enemy in close range so you can hit them and then fire. Problem is, because you've already suffered so many casualties and you have suppression directly lowers your chance to hit. So you get your single chance to fire at lower chances, and the immediate reaction to that shooting will kill you. So good luck with that. Probably shouldn't be. Fuck it. We'll have. Okay, what is the next unit? Right, I have to go through all of these anyway. Order be damned. The enemy can't offer enough resistance that it should matter. Ooh, yeah, we're bombarding our own troops if we don't change things. I might as well do blind artillery at this point, but I'm not sure if that's worthwhile. This location would be a worthy target, I guess. It's very likely the last place we'll ever reach. Alternatively, fire on this, because we're not gonna reach it immediately no matter what we do. I sort of prefer this. We don't have any specific target we want to shoot at here. Just make it difficult for anyone standing near the flags. Ah, 13. Quite a lot of enemies. Again, don't really know how good are they. I'm seeing army white withdrawal now. Yeah, this is. I just feel bad for the Iraqis in this fight. It's so hopeless what they have to do. Well, they're not really doing all that badly now that I look at things a little bit more closely. They pretty much have the army-wide more route block, but that's all they have. There is no real damage to the actual troops or anything like that. So we need to whip them a little bit more. Otherwise they'll just turn around and come back to haunt us. I'm also curious how aggressively should I go after them. Now it's a good time to make their little route permanent. What are you firing at? The autocannon should be enough to destroy it. Trying to get some kind of reaction out of it. At 3 hexes, he still misses. That's... What are your chances, really? Yeah, you're gonna get your one chance to do something, and that's it. Then it's all over. might die. Hmm. Well, in theory we could have died. Survivors disperse. Hmm. T-55s. With T-55s, I'm not even confident that they could be able to take me down. Even if they got a hit. The T-72s on the other hand could probably do it. Hey, yeah, and they're retreating. Too many casualties. Just can't handle that. It's so fucking hopeless what they have to do here. Just dispersing survivors, that's pretty much all I do here now. The tanks would have to rally pretty significantly to be able to offer any kind of serious resistance. And he's probably dead. Get your one perfect shot and then you're dead. Although I've tried this same thing myself. Basically trying to let the enemy just rush so close and then act. There's a problem with that. They're coming at such high speed that you don't actually have all that great of an accuracy compared when you're trying to fire at them. So it's not an effective way to defend against anything. You need something extra on top of that. What that extra happens to be, I'm not sure. Usually you need at least decoy guys, someone who can make sure that the guys who are firing at the targets don't have any suppression. It's not like I even get to really fight here. It's the reactions that are pretty much taking out everything anyway. So I get to move my units one at a time, a little bit closer to reveal enemies which the reaction fire takes out with a single shot. Yay. So as far as these scenarios are concerned, this is just a slaughter basically. I also don't really understand why they're positioned like this. They're showing the front armor and front turret hull is usually by far the strongest, so their weird angled position doesn't help their survival. Still not really spotting anything new. The field gun probably should be suppressed at the very least though. They're firing indirect fire though. Not even I'll fire a couple of times, just as aggressive. I'm thinking of just going full in, dropping infantry, see what we can find. I'm thinking we might be able to force some type of unit to react to our presence there. That's more or less it. Again, trying to maintain the formation here. We're going to encounter enemies that want a ton of units to be able to fire at them from all directions and angles. Right. Tank popped up, tank died. This is a more complicated issue though. What is that, for example? We don't want to go anywhere near the slope here, because I think once we do that, there's going to be a lot of targets on both sides shooting at each other. So if we want to go there, we're going there in a single group. Send infantry out. I think the final units. Artillery is landing in an acceptable location, and am I spotting something I should react to? It's not impossible. The field guns maybe, but I don't think so. What an exhausting mission, even though it's barely begun yet. Okay, that's the launcher bombardment. Yes, we got casualties. I think they have enough units here that they could have effectively caused these much casualties, but yeah, because the fact that we killed a couple of them means that the rest won't be able to fire either. Still, this was the most intense end of mission that we did, and yeah, they're just getting slaughtered. Where exactly is the artillery landing anyhow? No, this is fine. There's T-72B somewhere. I should be seeing it. Certainly fired up on me. Fired at the units here. Can't see it. Well, not much I can do about that. Oh, this probably maybe 3 turns, still more, but the amount of fighting will decrease constantly at this point. There's a T-72. You shoot at it. I think the APCs in general are better at this. In general vehicle-to-vehicle fighting, because they're much smaller targets. So even our advanced units compared to them can't just fire once and take down. On the other hand, against the tanks, that's exactly what usually ends up happening. We just fire in their general direction a little bit, and that's the end of the fight. I'm basically trying to push things as far as I can. Anyone actually see that? Who knows? And he's dead. They are spotting new things. Yeah. Okay. 17 targets. There really isn't anything important though. Trucks? Please. Oh, we're getting mobilized. Well, not that it matters, we have so many tanks. Holy shit. And they're gone. Well, they buttoned me up and I have enough suppression that I can't fire anymore. So, good job. Retreating tank. 23 targets. We'll kill what we can. Don't see a point in holding anything back. Holy shit! Yeah, they're pretty much at point blank range and we're not seeing shit. The positive side, they're all dying and they're not really achieving anything. Other tank. Another tank. To their credit, another tank. They've been able to function very, very well. I mean, they have massive amount of casualties all over them, and they're still just fighting away. Not all that well, granted, but better than would have expected. There are no tanks really here, but if I go right next to that, even he's gonna be able to kill me. Right, let's try this again. Goals cause massive amount of casualties. Can't let even the crew escape. Oh, look, there's a routed tank. Won't be able to fire. It is in a nasty location though. We can definitely end this in 2 turns, I'd say. They simply don't have enough resistance anymore that they could realistically hold me off for longer, and I'm basically going full in now. I'm not holding anything back, so they're not going to be able to hold me back. Oops. Earthen bunker retreating, BMP retreating. More targets for us to shoot at, I guess. trucks. Do you have any useful targets to shoot at? BMP-1. Might as well take the bunker out too. Squad destroy. Right, there are gonna be some survivors even after this slaughter, but I don't see how they could hold me back. Right. Catastrophic morale collapse. That's really the only realistic consequence of this. Crews getting annihilated all over the place. I guess we're just gonna go in there and hope we don't encounter any enemy tanks. Ooh, there's an enemy tank. It's thoroughly routed though, so it's not really a big threat to us even if we would ignore it. Actually, I'm not gonna ignore it, but we want to go to its rear, I would imagine. We only have an auto cannon. Crew destroyed. Crew destroyed. Okay. We're at P2. Where's our artillery landing? Yeah, it's a minefield. There's no threat as far as artillery is concerned to anything we're doing. Right. We can take these flags if we really want to. Bunker. An APC of some sort. BTR. It's not going to be able to be upgraded to our vehicles. Because we could go and harass infantry. That's pretty much all we can do. Still, all casualties matter. Crew destroyed, anti-air artillery destroyed. unit was retreating already, but it was basically in full condition and retreating, which means it's not gonna actually retreat. Trucks. Another easy kill. Right. So there's probably a couple of tanks still left somewhere, but with the amount of casualties we're bringing in, I don't see how they could offer any resistance on the next turn after we end our one, which means there probably isn't going to be any more fighting with it. Field gun destroyed. What a shame. Okay, the Bradleys will definitely reach the target areas on time. You still have some defenders there, but again, they're so suppressed they couldn't possibly effectively defend against anything. Right, this was a perfectly functioning squad. We got 0 casualties on it. After first firing it was retreating, after a second it was routed. So basically anything will collapse their morale at this point. Really don't have to worry about too much. Just need to keep whipping them so they will keep running. I'm not seeing anything special, so as long as we don't go into any new minefields, this is pretty much a done deal at this point. Right, what are we gonna do here? Because there's clearly minefields on top of that. So, do we go around or what? I'm inclined to favor aggressive options here. We've gotten a couple of casualties on them, no matter what they plan on doing. I think we should try to keep pushing and pushing. A little bit to the south, so or south or north, so we'll avoid the minefield. This is good for us. Very good for us. Yeah, they still have troops here capable of react. However, exposing themselves now means they can't do all that much on their own turn. Also, I can't actually see the tank with this one. Yeah, it's one of these things. They're at a terrible angle, so there's no support coming for us. Could we get a tank there? Holy shit, a tank. Too suppressed to really react to anything. And now with the extra casualties, even if there were additional units there, again too suppressed to actually react to anything. The autocannon should be able to penetrate the armor. Except what we've moved, so apparently we can't really do shit. They have still something that allows them to react. Possibly. If they do, I'm not seeing it. Right, looks like we're done with most of the actual units, so it's the extra trash left anymore. artillery check. It's not a horrible location where it's landing. There could still be enemies here that we don't particularly want to stumble upon. Accidental cancellation. Okay. We are creating the final flags on the next turn. I'm not sure if I can get them all. There might still be a straggler or two holding us back. Oh no! So they're revealing their last infantry defense line. And that's that. Or are all artillery halted, please? Right. There's still enemy forces all over the place, but I'm mostly seeing routed troops. Some retreating, but vast majority is routed, so they're not going to be able to offer any kind of resistance. Ooh, minefields. Couple of infantry squads basically holding us back, and a BMP. Hello, my BMP friend. Okay, we might as well do this the systematic way again. Not that it matters. Okay, is there even a potential for us to see some enemy action here? I don't really think so. I might be able to shoot at a truck. I think trucks are treated more or less like infantry. So we need to cause 2 men worth of casualties on them and they'll do okay. Okay, I guess we're going to... Do I even want to go this far? I don't know. E-72 was there. T-72! Two E-72s. Okay, can they actually do something? They are in a... We can probably shoot that one with almost anything. This one is more complicated. It's protected fairly well from everything except the northern area. Right, anyway. Can't shoot it with this one though. Ooh, that's a lot of enemies revealed. Excellent. We have proper tanks here to take care of this. I do have to commend them on the fact that I have not been able to drive these tanks away by simply destroying a few of their friends. You have to kill them pretty much to the last man. Ooh, you, let's see you. I think that's pretty much it. I'm sure there are more tanks spread around here and there, but oh. APC. For the most part, I can't see what they possibly do still to hold on to things. This tank is immobilized, so I'm just shooting whatever I can. Well, their losses are staggering. Ooh, 55. Again, ready, even though the entire army surrounding it is running away. Good job. These guys can't reach the flags no matter what we do, so we might as well just use these kill trackers. What else? What else? What else? Relatively certain that the fact that we caused so many casualties is again the reason why I don't spot any new enemies. There are still vehicles here, but because they're suppressed, they're more or less staying quiet. I do wonder. I don't think it's possible to have, or rather, escape the suppression effect when you are fenced around you. It doesn't matter how experienced of a troop or good you are, you'll still get the suppression effect. So I think their quality here is the enemy quality is that they can rally through amazing amounts of suppression to the ready status. But they'll have to do it, and it doesn't come without a cost. They are not able to act all that efficiently. Most of the time they'll probably cancel it out and then won't be able to do all that much else. There's really not much going on anymore. Holy shit. Yep, another T-72. There would be a tank there too, and I wouldn't know it. I would not know it. Still, we have enough tanks here that we can deal with it, though. Not sure if there aren't really any interesting targets to fire at anymore. Trucks. Crew destroyed, crew destroyed, crew destroyed. I'm thinking of sending one of the tanks down here. I mean, I don't exactly expect trouble from this area anymore, but you never know. And we certainly don't need the extra troops here, so I really see a particular downside to doing this. It's a retreating tank, so our casualties that we've caused are getting results here. Who could fire upon it? Pretty much anyone here in the north. 3 tanks revealed. Exciting times we live here. Can you shoot at? Can't see all of them. Not that it matters too much. We should be able to see them if we move a little bit. Maybe not. Not quite getting there. Still not too worried. Kills we managed to do make sure that he can fire upon us anymore. Looking at the numbers, our units, infantry, tanks, that sort of thing, I don't think it looks that bad for the Iraqis, but the reality of it, this is pretty goddamn brutal. Ooh, APC. Probably retreating, otherwise he would have shot at us. Yep, retreating. Can we take it out? Probably yes, but it's not that big of a deal. Still, why not? No reason not to do it. BMP. I should have destroyed the BMP first, but don't particularly care. Don't think it'll make much of a difference no matter how we do this. Through this. A little bit of suppression fire here. Makes for easier time for the closer units to actually go in there and finish them off. What else? Not really anything else. and still can't do shit. I suppose I can get this guy to go the route maybe. I'm inclined to send troops south. Don't really have a good reason to do it though. Just expecting a little bit of trouble in that general area. Seeing anything impressive here, but I'll hold my shot just in case there are hidden T-72 somewhere there. No reactions from anywhere. Treating the terrible accuracy. Target destroyed. Mortar destroyed. Ah. Oh shit. Okay, was there all along. And what exactly was it though? Doesn't look like there are any serious opponents here. Holy shit, T-72B firing from the edge of the map for some reason. Can you see it? Can you see it? Probably has friends there to be fair. So if we just stick around here, we're in trouble. At the same time, not sure how much trouble could we possibly be in. A few casualties here and there aren't gonna make much of a difference. Still, Do you see? Yeah, he can see through this type of smoke easily. I'm guessing it's the better optics, the vision values these guys have, but what about you? Can see everything. What about you? Can see through everything. So this type of destroyed vehicle smoke isn't gonna do shit. Alright, I think I'll hold my position here. Don't want to move. We are expecting some kind of reaction from them now, so better to have a lot of units in position to react to that. Like bringing in jeeps and APCs to the battlefront now is sort of a waste. I'm just basically bringing easy targets for them to destroy. Not that they have a huge amount of chances to fire upon these, but still. This is not in a good location. I'm not sure if we need to really do anything anymore. Right, we can end the fight on the next turn. Still, they're trying something. It's definitely last-ditch effort to get something down. They're abandoning their fortified positions. Oh, they're trying. Impressive counter-offensive that they can move basically 2 hexes forward and then they're dead. So that's their counter-offensive. That's the modern US Army versus outdated Russian gear. There's no fight, really. Just a slaughter. And this is favoring them. In any other kind of an engagement, we could have spotted them long before. This is where they had the advantage of being able to force the situation to somewhat below 20 hexes. In any other kind of a fight, the same thing would have happened in 50, 60 hexes. So it's just ugly, not much of a fight. Ooh, retreat, retreat, retreat. Final collapse up there, unit morale. Still, might as well go as far as we can. Do we even see any useful targets? Trucks, I'll take it. Shoot whatever you can. Not sure we could even reach anything useful. So we could go back maybe a little bit to try to get that guy. Sure I'm seeing anything useful. Crew destroyed, crew destroyed, crew destroyed. Some of their tanks already retreated outside the map. I doubt there are going to be any kind of additional attacks that they can muster. They lost their platoon leaders or company leaders. Had a few extra casualties right next to each other, and it's a rout. Although I don't really see, even if they would have been able to hold their morale together, how they could have possibly done any kind of serious fighting there. So hard to blame them. Guess we could go a little bit easy on the killing of stragglers, just to get this thing over with a little bit sooner. If you find vehicles, that's a different matter, but crew escaping in 20 hexes away from anything important, that's not something I should go after. Ooh, what? Don't think there's anything particularly interesting there for us to shoot anymore. We'll shoot if we happen to spot something interesting like this. I was surprised that there was still someone here. Properly surprised. I mean, the rest of the group at the edge of the map was pretty much going up over a full route already. So surely these would also be doing that, but apparently no. Still, More tanks. Right, now we control all the flags, so it's just a matter of more or less ending the turn. I'll move a little bit around the flags to see if we can maybe get something revealed still there. Maybe reposition the units a little bit. I mean, there could be some kind of counteraction, even though I doubt it. So we would have units in position to react to that. Just not seeing anything. Nothing at all anymore. Fleeing infantry, I suppose. They don't have any fight left. Would have been a perfect mission for the Iraqis. Play as Iraqis. Would have the benefit of both worlds. For a challenging mission to try to get something done. 2, it would have been a lot faster. Yeah, there's something in the south still that could possibly hold us some interest. Okay, south it is. Only seeing 2 crew there though, so I'm not exactly expecting a lot. Truck. Anything here? No. No. Still, that doesn't actually mean all that much. Someone has to drive through those areas. Right, I'm fairly satisfied there's nothing here. They're hidden so well that I can't see them at this point. They deserve to live. Yeah. Any movements? Yes. More impressively, he's actually charging at us. Yeah, 5,380 versus 112. We lost 100 men to APCs and a Bradley fighting vehicle, I think. They lost 600 men, 17 artillery pieces, 12 trucks, 43 APCs, 66 fighting vehicles, so tanks basically. So about 100 tanks versus our 100 fighting vehicles versus our 3 fighting vehicles. I mean, I guess this is more or less intended to be historically accurate fight as far as the forces are concerned, then an interesting fight. But I think the game doesn't work well with these kind of numbers. Technically, it didn't last many turns, but Jesus Christ, it felt like 2 hours at least. Not a fun mission to play.